Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will talk about Ladakh and Kerala and its historical and geographical differences. So let's start with the Ladakh. Here are some points of Ladakh like location, climate, occupation, food, trade, festival, religion and culture. So let's start with location. Ladakh is a union territory and is a cold desert in the east of Jammu and Kashmir. Climate: it is covered with snow large part of the year. Very cold and less rainfall leads to very little agriculture. Very few trees grow here. Drinking water is available when snow melts in summer. Occupation: ship rearing for pashmina wool, which is sold to Kashmiri traders for weaving pashmina shawl, which cost very high. Food: people eat meat and milk products like butter and cheese. For this, they domesticate animals like goats, cows. Next, trade. Being desert, Ladakh attract traders. It was a good trade route because it had many passes through which caravans traveled. What is today called Tibet. They carry textiles and spices, raw silk and carpets. Let's talk about festival. Hamis is the most popular monastic festival which marks the victory of good over evil. Next, religion. Buddhism reached Tibet through Ladakh. It is also known as Little Tibet. Islam was introduced here for more than 400 years ago, having significant Muslim population. Next is culture. Ladakh has very rich oral traditions of songs and poems. Local versions of Tibetan national epic, the Kesar Saga, are performed and sung by both Muslims and Buddhists. Now let's talk about Kerala. Here are some few points like location, climate, occupation, food, trade, festival, religion and culture. Let's start with the location. Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by Arabian Sea on the west and hills, Western Ghats on its east. Next is climate. Generally pleasant, high ranges are cool while plains have hot and humid climate. Monsoon brings heavy rainfall. Occupation: agriculture is the main occupation. Plantation of spices like pepper, cloves and cardamom are grown on hills which attracted Arab and Jewish traders. Fishing is another occupation. Fishing nets used here looks exactly like Chinese fishing nets and are called china wala. Even utensils used for frying is called china chatti. It is believed that word chin could have come from China. Now let's talk about food. Food of Kerala like to eat fish and rice. They also eat sambar, dosa and idli. Trade: people of Kerala did trade for spices, muslin, precious stone, cotton, precious stones to the people of West during medieval time. Now let's talk about festival. Onam is a harvest festival celebrated in Kerala. Next, religion. People in Kerala practices different religion such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism and Buddhism. Next is culture. Culture of Kerala is a combination of both Indian and Dravidian culture. Now here is a table of Ladakh and Kerala, and they were saying about the differences of both the states. So let's talk about the differences one by one. First, we will take geographical area of Ladakh and Kerala. So let's start. Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Here, Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other. Here is a geographical area of Ladakh and Kerala. Second point is agriculture. Very little agriculture is possible here since this region does not receive any rain and is covered in snow for a large part of the year. And in Kerala, a number of spices like pepper, cloves, and cardamom are grown on the hills. Here is the agriculture of Ladakh where there is no rainfall and it is covered with snow. And in Kerala, there is a agriculture of pepper, cloves, and cardamom. Next is water availability. In this Ladakh, for drinking water, people depend on the melting snow during the summer months, and in Kerala, this area has no shortage of drinking water. Next, trades. The people in Ladakh carefully collect the pashmina wool of the sheep and sell this to traders from Kashmir. Pashmina shawls are chiefly woven in Kashmir, and in Kerala, it is spices that made this region an attractive place for traders. Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here. Other trades also happens here. This is a trading of pashmina shawls in Ladakh, and this is a trading of spices in Kerala. Now let's talk about the route. It was considered a good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans travelled to what is today called Tibet. These caravans carried textile and spices, raw, silk and carpets. And in Kerala, the Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama is landed with his ship here. This is of Ladakh and this is of Kerala. Next, religion and culture. Buddhism reached Tibet versus Ladakh. Ladakh is also called Little Tibet. Islam was introduced in this region more than 4,000 years ago, and there is a significant Muslim population here. And in Kerala, different religions such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism and Buddhism and their related culture. This is Buddhism of Ladakh and Islam of Kerala. Food, meat and milk, products like cheese and butter, they depend on the market to buy all the food and other goods that they need because they have little agriculture. And in Kerala, the agriculture here is very good. People have so many options to grow vegetable and crops. Seafood is also available here. There is a difference between Ladakh and Kerala, which I told you, like pashmina wool, yaks and Buddhism. Here in Kerala, spices and traders, Jewish traders and Islam. Now there is some similarities between Ladakh and Kerala. So geographical features of Kerala and Ladakh are different, but both regions have similar culture influences. Both regions were influenced by Chinese and Arab traders. Geographical conditions of Kerala and Ladakh allowed them to cultivate spices and wool that drew traders to these regions. Now, our next topic is unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. India's diversity has always been recognized as a source of its strength. When the British ruled India, women and men from different culture and religion and religious and regional backgrounds came together to oppose them. These are the Britishers. Now, India's freedom movement had thousands of people of different backgrounds in it. They worked together to decide joint actions. They went to jail together and they found different ways to oppose the British. Interestingly, the British thought they could divide Indians because they were so different and then continue to rule them. But the people showed how they could be different and yet be united in their battles against the British. Britishers apply the rule of divide by the Indians. In this, men and women, Hindus, Sikhs and Muslims, rich and poor, had gathered to protest against the British. Now, in his book, The Discovery of India by Jawaharlal Nehru, says that Indian unity is not something imposed from outside, but rather it was something deeper and within its fold. The widest tolerance of belief and custom was practiced, and every variety acknowledged and even encouraged. It was Nehru who coined the phrases unity in diversity to describe the country. India's national anthem, composed by Rabindranath Tagore, is another expression of the unity of India. Now, lesson summary. The differences among people can be due to many reasons, including gender, religion, languages, region, etc. Inequality, where people lack equal opportunity, is different from diversity. India is a very diverse land with many different languages, cultures, religions, and traditions, etc. The diversity of a place is affected by its geography and also its history. The term unity in diversity is coined by Jawaharlal Nehru to describe India in his book, The Discovery of India. I think the chapter is clear to you all. Now, in our next lecture, we will start our new chapter of geography, chapter 1st, the earth in the solar system. Till then, bye bye. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel.